Remember that sound from COD 4? No? Get the hell out of my channel. Nah, but seriously, thanks for sticking around and tolerating my pessimistic ass. Anyways, enough about that. Welcome back to Weapon Guides. Today, we're gonna take a real good look at my third favorite sniper that I know people aren't gonna really use because they're all fixated on their M91 38s, the Barrett M82A1. The Barrett M82A1 is an American anti-material semi-auto sniper designed in 1980 and started production in 1982. The Barrett M82A1 had the nickname Light 50 due to the fact that this sniper uses 50 BMG rounds and is also lighter than an M2HB, which is also chambered for 50 calibers. For the sake of simplicity, we'll just be calling it the Light 50. Story-wise, Light 50 was tasked with protecting the commander from the Needles at the end of Chapter 3 of Continuum Turbulence alongside Remington 870. That failed, which resulted in our capture. Later on, Light 50 took part in rescuing us as in the commander by the way, which succeeded. The Light 50 is only attainable through reward crates in Continuum Turbulence with a guaranteed one in opening your 770th crate. It more than likely will come back in a future event somewhere down the line. Being a 5-star weapon like it should be, it'll cost 105 dummy cores to get the 5x links, with each combat used for dummy linking reducing that cost by 15 cores each. Light 50 is tied for the third highest base damage of 158 alongside JS5. This is a pleasant sight to see after covering pretty much nothing but absolute disappointing nonsense. The A is 50 and PGM Hecate 2 better be like this as well if and when it gets added. Unlike Intervention, fire rate actually does matter for Light 50. And what luck, Light 50 is a few under the new median value of 37 at 34. Shared alongside SKS, Intervention, SVT 38, and Car 98K. Accuracy is a few above the 74 median at 77, which, okay, seems fair enough. I won't make a fuss about it, because when was the last time you've seen a sniper miss their shot? I know I haven't. Evasion is probably the worst stat out of Light 50, but it's not a concern to begin with anyway. This is the first weapon we're covering in Weapon Guides with a miniature essay of a skill description. Luckily, this is a more understandable one than, say, K2's confusing ass skill. Allow me to break it down for you. Light 50 has 3 bullets each battle that she'll fire out, the last one dealing double damage. And with each battle won, the skill damage will grow with a maximum of 3 stacks. Considering the fire times, this is meant for way longer fights like the Salt and Pepper Nidos. Otherwise, most of the damage that Light 50 can do is from normal attacks. Hell, she may not even fire an enhanced shot at all depending on what you're fighting. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention about the skill. If hit by an enhanced round, they'll suffer from a 20% damage debuff for 5 seconds. This is assuming that the target wasn't blasticated / finished off Mortal Kombat style. And from what I've seen so far, she'll only have the time to fire 1 enhanced shot. With longer fights like Judge, although not really recommended to being like 50 against Judge, she'll have all that time to fire all 3 shots. And if you've been doing fighting with that squad prior to that fight, the skill damage can theoretically skyrocket, which only then can the skill damage maybe outweigh normal damage. Tile buffs are exactly the same as interventions, placement and buff. With placement like that, she's most suited to be placed at the top row in the back. But as for what to buff, even though most of Light 50's damage comes from regular attacks, buffing damage is a must. You can throw in some fire rate to help, but prioritize damage over everything. For equipment, just go with a rifle scope, and I do recommend the cloak as Light 50 won't really be moving. In fact, most snipers will follow that equipment preset to a T. Actually, I don't think that any sniper would benefit from an EL type sight or RDS at all. So for Lord Tachanka's sake, just use a rifle scope for all snipers. I haven't had this weapon for long, but Light 50 is my 3rd favorite sniper, and how can I say no to that? No, not that. That. In fact, I have 2 more just waiting to be leveled up, just like my 4th Galil. Yes, I have 4 Galils and not say 4 containers or 4 of... that. Offended? Good. Come 1v1 me on Nuketown then. While I'm getting on Black Ops 2 to await your 1v1 invite, let's on to this episode of Weapon Guides. Overall, the Barrett M82A1 can potentially be a powerhouse, but will more than be overshadowed by things that shouldn't even exist. but they do anyways. And Line 50 will fall into the Pillar of Irrelevance. Just like about more than half the weapons I've done in weapon guides. Now I can end off the 7 weapon guides. If you somehow even remotely like this, then there's a playlist at the end of the video that you can click on to view every weapon guide I've done, in order, thus far. Otherwise, I would say like and subscribe, but you know what, I don't really care. Do whatever the fuck you want. Tune in next time when you'll hear the words winning and marriage so much that it'll make you stuff a centipede in your ear to end the suffering and misery.
Yeah, collect enough of these and just level this fucking... Well, you did it, Box. You literally made me vomit from anger.